Be just a moment and you'll be live.
Okay.
Okay, good to go.
Great. Thanks, Terry. Good evening, and welcome to the August meeting of the Northborough Conservation Commission. My name is Greg Young. I'm the chair of the commission. And pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, an act extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency and signed into law on March 28th, 2025, this meeting will be conducted via remote participation. All members of the Northborough Conservation Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Northborough Conservation Commission to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Dan Clark.
Here.
John Johnson.
Present.
Kelly Marston.
Here.
Very good. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Vincent Vignali.
Here.
Terry Underwood.
Here.
Thank you. Some business ground rules for presenters and/or applicants listed on the agenda. I will invite each speaker or applicant on the agenda by name to make a presentation and speak to their application. Participants will provide their full name and hold until the name is called. Each speaker will be asked to mute their phone or computer when not speaking and to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate meeting minutes. Those responding will be asked to wait until the floor is yielded to them by the chair. Speakers who wish to respond to the comments of others do so through the chair, taking care to identify themselves. Each vote taken by the commission will be conducted by roll call vote. For items of public comment, after members have spoken, I will afford public comment as follows. By phone, dial *9 to raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Please note that part of your phone number will be visible to those viewing the meeting. By Zoom, click raise hand on the bottom of your screen and wait to be recognized. I will ask members of the public who wish to speak to identify their names and addresses only. Once the chair has a list of all public commentators, the chair will call on each by name and afford 3 minutes for any comments. A reminder that this meeting is being recorded and will be made available for viewing via the Northborough Remote Meetings tab on the town's website. Kelly, you're on.
The meeting will include the following hearings pursuant to the MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, the Northborough Wetlands Protection Bylaw, and/or the Northborough Stormwater Management and Land Disturbance Bylaw. Notice of intent application at 432 Whitney Street, map and parcel 1522, from Northborough Trail Committee. The proposed work involves creation of over a mile of 4-foot wide trail with 3 intermittent stream crossings. The proposed work will temporarily alter bordering vegetated wetlands, 100-foot buffer zone, and the local 25-foot no disturb setback and 35-foot no structure setback. The Northborough Conservation Commission policy, consider a policy creating a submittal deadline for supplemental information to be 8 p.m. on the Wednesday before a scheduled meeting.
Very good. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, meeting minutes from July. So everybody who's here can vote. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns on the meeting minutes?
No.
No, a lot of shaking heads. We need a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second by Kelly. Roll call. Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. All right. Meeting minutes are approved. Continuations here. 65 West Main Street. Trying to see what we have on the. What should we be looking for, Vinny?
Klinkhammer, Capistran.
Capistran, Nicole Capistran is here.
Yep.
And Greg LaCroix.
Greg, yeah. I don't have the list of attendees up. I can see it.
Hey, Terry,
Yes.
I cannot bring people in. Is that something you can fix?
Attendees.
I see a few hands up. Chief Parenti is here.
Do you want to promote to panelist?
Yeah, I'd like to have the ability to do that.
Okay. Okay, do you see that now?
I see, yes. Well, two people are in, so I can go ahead and do that. Yep, I'm good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Janet Slimenda, Vinny?
Janet, I don't think so. Greg, is she on your team? Janet?
You're on mute, Greg.
You're muted, Greg.
Sorry about that. Yes, she is.
Okay.
Okay.
Nicole Capistran from PAR is also.
Yes.
Nicole, I'll bring Nicole in.
Is Erica here?
She's not today.
Okay.
Just me.
Okay, no. Peter O'Kane.
I'm not sure if he'll be joining us. I'll let once Nicole gets going here. If Peter's requesting, yes, Peter's part of the team.
Okay. Promote to panelist. Chief Parente, promote to panelist. Peter O'Kane, okay, declined. David is joining us. Okay. There's Chief Parente. Welcome, Chief. You've got 4, we've got 5, so we still have the advantage. You want one more to come in and even off the odds here? Okay, fine. All right, so here we're continuing this here. Vinny, I know the last time there were a number of items you were looking for some clarification on. I think you actually went ahead and started doing an order so that they could hit the ground running if we approve this tonight.
Yeah.
So where are we? Did you get what you're looking for?
I think so. I went through and did the review, sent out a draft with suggesting conditions, and I don't remember seeing anything in response. So hopefully people are not upset about that. I wasn't sure if there's any questions or anything the commission needs to address.
No questions from us on that.
All right. Yeah. What I went through, there were a couple of things with the groundwater separation and the work out near the wetlands that I had questions about that they addressed.
Yep.
The conditions that I was for the commission to consider are the first one was to provide documentation of the permanent easement and physical accessibility on 70 West Main Street property prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy.
Okay.
That's the area by the Dunkin' Donuts, and there's landscaped areas where they're kind of going through and putting the easement. We just want to make sure that those landscaped areas don't get trees and things planted because they need annual maintenance to get in there and clean things up.
Is that to the left of Dunkin' Donuts as you're looking at it?
That is correct, yes. And the second one was to provide buoyancy calculations to confirm stability of the stormwater detention structures before installation. And there's a note on the plan that they responded to that said that they're going to check it, and this would be a condition just asking them to submit the calcs to the commission. And then our standard 3-page conditions that they're already kind of working through and with the land disturbance permit already.
Okay. All right. So from your perspective, everything you've received, everything you're looking for, and it's
We're good.
good. Good. Okay. Any questions from the commission or comments? We did beat this around pretty well last month, so. Okay. Then we need a motion to close the hearing on 65 West Main Street.
I make a motion to close the hearing on 55 West Main Street for the Northborough Fire Station.
Second.
Seconded by Kelly. Roll call. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. Meeting is closed. Now we're looking for a motion to issue an order of conditions, and I guess it's an amended stormwater management disturbance permit, Vinnie, right?
That is correct. Yes.
For Newtown Fire Station, 65 West Main Street. Nothing unusual for requirements?
Just
Standard
the
boilerplate?
conditions I noted.
Okay. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Billy Marston,
Yes.
and I vote yes. All right. Done.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for working with us. I'm sure we'll be talking to you for the next, off and on here, but moving forward.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Very
Thank
good.
you very
too.
much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Second one, Vinny, is CSX Transportation. That's a continuation also. Been continued for a couple of months now, maybe 3.
Yes, they're trying to schedule a time to go out and flag the wetlands, and then then once it's flagged, for us to go out and confirm it.
Right. So we're looking to continue that.
Yes, that one would be continued. They requested a continuance. They're hoping to have the flagging done for inspection in the first week in September. So
Okay.
hopefully we'll have it for our meeting.
Okay, good. Good. Then we need a motion to continue the request for CSX Transportation, determinant of an RDA.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Billy Marston,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Next, we have another continuation, 13 River Road. Nadine Proctor, this is the collapsed wall on the back of the Assabet.
That is correct. I submitted comments a month and a half or so ago. It's been a busy summer for all the designers and engineers out there, and we haven't gotten a response to those comments yet. But
You're still looking for the response, okay.
right. So we want to continue this.
So they're aware of that also, obviously. They're not here tonight, but they're aware of the continuation issue.
Yes.
Okay, need a motion to continue the notice of intent application for 13 River Street.
So moved.
Second.
Second, roll call. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Billy Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. Zero Newton Street. We have a continuation here for an NOI and a stormwater management land disturbance permit for Zero Newton Street, common driveway.
We have veto on this one.
Vito was here.
And is Michael Levitt, the proponent?
He was, yes, he is. Michael, you want to come in? Okay. Hello, Vito.
Hello. All right, is Mike in too?
Mike is joining, yes.
Okay. All right. Oh,
There he
there we
is.
Hey,
Good afternoon, good evening.
good afternoon, good evening.
All right, Vinny, set us up for this.
All right, this is the same site that the commission gave a permit to for a common driveway in 2017. That permit expired, that order of conditions expired. So since then, there was a new bylaw in Northborough that was come into play, the Stormwater Management and Land Disturbance Bylaw. And so since their old order of conditions expired, they need to do both a new notice of intent or they filed a notice of intent and an application for a land disturbance permit. I've gone through the proposal and made comments and spoke with Vito this afternoon, and I think we're ready to present kind of a project that is worthy of closing the hearing and permitting, but there are still a few small items that need to be tweaked on the plans.
Okay,
So I think we can let Vito run through it.
Yep. Okay, that sounds good. I'll just bring the plan up. All right, so this is the overall project. I don't know how much we went through on the last meeting. But essentially this was the overall project. I know there was some questions about, limits of disturbance on, the clearing areas. So we tried to make this exhibit where these lighter green areas, that's essentially the work areas, the clearing, and then the darker green would be the areas to be preserved. So we tried to keep it fairly tight around each of the lots and preserve as much of that natural woodland and the buffers as possible. So the driveway essentially winds up to a cul-de-sac, and then there's two spurs off of it leading off to the remaining lots. And then I'll just zoom into the next sheet just a little bit closer. So this one's just a little bit zoomed up of the main development area itself. So we kind of have a central isolated wetland and then this stream running along the backside. So there was some also discussion, I think kind of the main concerns were really related to the phasing of the project and essentially how it gets implemented during construction. So the intent would be to, they want to get started obviously as soon as possible, but the intent would be before the winter sets in to get this first leg of the road in, at least up through this cul-de-sac. Ideally, some of these spurs, but get the pavement down up through this cul-de-sac, get that kind of stabilized for an access during the winter, and then begin work on these three front houses here as the first phase. They'd use these back lots over here and over here for staging areas to keep all that material kind of, off the roadway area, not so it's not so visible, and also away from the wetlands and the buffers. So that would be the kind of the first phase, bring it up, getting the first three lots done, the main roadway. And then after that's going to move on to these back lots and kind of work themselves out into the development and finalize with these last couple houses out in the back. During construction, they'll use this. This is a central kind of detention basin right in the middle here. It's essentially just created from bringing the road across. It's a low valley, and they're bringing the road across and spanning that, and it essentially dams up this kind of low area that once it's finalized will enhance it into a formalized basin with some under drains and proper soil media. But during the construction phase, we're essentially going to leave that as a natural area to act as a sediment basin. It'll have some controlled outlets, but it'll contain it all within this area. So it's really a natural low area that works with the topography and allows us to catch development down kind of this whole central portion of the development. These front lots would just be controlled with your typical silt fence, straw wattles, just because of the size. They're more the size of just a single family lot. Those can be managed with just on-site practices, we feel, without the need for a formal basin or anything like that. I'm just trying to think if there were any other outstanding kind of questions from last time. I think those are the main topics, though, from they were kind of outstanding from the review from Vinny. We did go through that. We did a initial letter back, just kind of going through how we would revise the plans, and I think we could easily do that. And we told Vinny, pending in a week, with all those comments addressed and completed. So I guess I can, unless Mike has anything you want to add I can kind of take some questions.
Yeah, I guess the other thing is towards the back of the property, just, the goal would be to hydro seed all that. Because we won't be back there until next year. So we'd like to clear the trees in the light green area just to get that all done, and then just hydro seed everything and start on Newton Street and work our way back.
Okay. The vernal pool, is that in 6F?
Yeah, that's right.
How far is any work away from that?
So this, I think it's maybe a little tough to see on this, but this dark line right there, that's the 100-foot from the pool itself.
Yep.
Goes around. So the work in there would just be a corner of this, yard area, and then this one would have about half the house and then the yard area in it right in here.
Okay.
This portion of it would essentially remain undisturbed down.
Is everything outside the 35? Nothing's inside the 35 foot?
There's a little grading yard area in the 35, but it's all out the 25. So there's no structures in that 35. And we just had a slight area right in here that was in that 35. It's maybe 5 feet into it or so for that stretch along the width of it.
Okay. Good. All right. Any questions from the commission? Comments?
Good, thank you.
Not a lot of questions. That's good. Let me see if we have any public comment. I don't see any hands up. So Vinny, you're good. You're closer to this than I have. You've been out there a couple times, and you and Michael have spoken, and you and Vito have walked it, I think.
Yes, and I walked it with their wetland scientist, Glenn Kravosky.
Yep.
And there was a question, or there were multiple questions from DEP, just things to confirm by the commission. And Mr. Kravosky's line work was good. His evaluation of the resource areas was good. DEP questioned whether there was a connection from this vernal pool or potential. Thing is, it is a potential vernal pool, so it doesn't get all the special protections that a full certified vernal pool would get.
Yep.
But they're doing a good job keeping out of probably 80 or 90% of the protected areas once this gets certified. One of the conditions that was suggested by DEP was to ask the applicant to evaluate this for certification next spring. And I think Michael has accepted or agreed to do that.
Yes.
What does that entail?
I think it's more of a wildlife, or looking for fairy shrimp and salamanders, signs of eggs of either. And they just go in the field and do that field investigation. Is there a sizing requirement, Vito, that you're aware of? Is that's just separate for a pond criteria?
Yeah, I think it's separate. I don't think there's a size, but yeah, they do a habitat and wildlife evaluation, and I think there's some forms to fill out, and they submit those for approval.
Well, if it becomes a formal vernal pool, does that change anything in terms of the protection it gets?
No, it would still have, it would get approval, but if these things were built and the areas were developed, then it's grandfathered. But I think they're building it or proposing to build it in compliance with the vernal pool criteria.
Okay, good. All right.
Future encroachments would kind of limit. That's all.
Okay.
Right. And the other question that came up at the last meeting or last month was the idea of where the septic systems were going. And they're not specifically shown on this plan, but you can see the areas on the lots that are light green, in addition to where the building squares are the areas where the septic system are going. So they do show the clearing for the septic system and for the fill around associated with those septics.
And looks like they're all inside the 100.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, all the systems are outside the 100, and we did just show that generally how the grading would be, just to make sure everything fits within the limit of work.
Yep. Have you been on Board of Health, Vito, for the septic design?
We haven't got approval yet.
And
All
public,
the testing was witnessed by Board of Health, so all that's good. It's just gonna go through the design process now.
what about planning board?
They had their approval. I think that one is actually still valid, just because of how that process goes. They had their common driveway approval, in the A&R, back, from the original approval time.
Okay, all right. All right, so no commission questions, comments. I don't see any shaking heads on that.
Do we have do we have automatic signage going up, or is that part of it?
No, but that's a good idea.
Mhm.
That's the wetlands, no disturb signs might be helpful when you're doing those lot development plans to kind of look at the areas where they're most likely to encroach and put a sign there.
I'm totally fine with that. I'm familiar with those, obviously, from Swan View. So,
Sure,
yeah, I
sure.
think 6A, 6F, 6G are probably the bigger contenders, but certainly wherever you guys feel that it's beneficial, we're always happy to comply.
We can all do that at TBD, right? As things get developed and the things get clearer, the many can come out and walk and agree with you guys on what to do. We'll just say
Absolutely.
include signs. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think the general consensus we showed some clearing, but the goal is to keep it a wooded area. So like 6G, it's showing it coming close to that 25-foot buffer. It might not. We may try to keep as many trees as possible. So just wanted to get approved for more, but hopefully we're not, clearing every little bit that we're proposing.
Right, right, good, okay. Well, Swan View is a lot closer to the environments than this one is. So
It is. It
Mhm.
is. That was a little tricky, and not to mention the 386,000 pounds of trash that we had to pick out by hand. That's a little more complicated. So we're
Yes,
skipping
yes.
that step at least.
Who's counting, Michael? Right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you did.
I did. That was a lot of trash.
Man, oh man. Good. Okay, so I don't see any public comments. I think we're good in the commission. So we need a motion. Then we're going ahead with this and close the hearing.
Yes, that sounds good. And then we'll close it and we'll get updated plans of the items that we had talked about submitted, and then I can issue the decision, the order of conditions and the land disturbance permit.
Great. Okay. We need a motion to close the hearing on 0 Newton Street.
I make a motion to close the hearing on 0 Newton Street.
I second it.
Second by Kelly. Roll call. Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Billy Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. Hearing is now closed. So, Vinny, we're gonna issue an order of conditions and a land disturbance stormwater management permit. What are the conditions on it? The updated plans to you before you send them out?
Yeah, that won't be a condition because I will have gotten updated plans. I'll hold on to the decisions until I get updated plans plus a week or so for me to get the work done. But they'll be the standard conditions, and then a condition to coordinate with the conservation agent on placement of wetland signs on each of the lots within 100 feet.
Okay, good. We need a motion to issue an order of conditions and a stormwater management permit for 0 Newton Street.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Billy Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. All right.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you.
You're gonna start soon, Michael? I mean, it sounds like you want to do it.
Yeah, just with the cold weather coming, we're as soon as we can get going, we're ready to start. So
Good.
hopefully soon.
And you're aware of that street, and it's kind of funky, right? It's really kind of narrow and all that. So
It's a little tricky. Yeah.
Out of our
We picked the
jurisdiction,
challenging ones, obviously.
Good. Cool.
So, thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Thank you,
Take
Vito.
care.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right.
One question, Vinny, do you want me to stick around for Lawrence Street? For the well?
Yeah, you want to, the chair, you want to just jump to Lawrence Street? The request for sorry,
I
it's
can
an
wait till the
amendment.
end. I don't care.
Project change?
Project change, right?
Sure, we can jump down to that.
Do you have a plan?
Admin Prod 75 Lawrence Street.
Okay, I have a plan that I can share. think. Come on.
Did anyone go to the open houses on Swan View on the project?
You mean walk through them?
Yeah, they had open houses.
No, they walked around them for, not inside, no.
Oh, they were gorgeous.
Were they?
Mm.
Is that last one still for sale?
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I can pull up a picture of it. I don't have the plan. But picture, come on. There the picture comes in. You can see a little shed and pool off to the left.
I see it, yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So what's being requested is this is a site, 75 Lawrence Street. 2 years ago, they received a permit approval on order of conditions for repair of their septic system, which is behind us to the left. To the right, you can see that beautiful purple loosestrife plants. And they're along, oh, I can't remember the name of this brook. Do you have that, Vito?
No, I don't have it offhand.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's a brook. It crosses
Yep.
under Lawrence Street and heads toward Westboro.
Mhm.
And so it flows from right to left.
Yep.
This area here in the front is where they're proposing to put an access, just an access way to get around to the back where they need to install a well because the property owner's private well is failing and they need to put a new one in. So the work that was permitted was behind us and probably 80 or 100 feet away. So what they're asking for now is to put in this new access here to put in a well. There, you can see a whole lot of alteration right along the no disturb area, a lot of clearing, and it looks like they sprayed some pesticides. We probably want to make, if we approve allowing them into that area in the setback, we would want to have them pull out whatever junk and material that was dumped into the wetlands along this edge. And you can see some piles of stuff there. But that's kind of the request. I don't know that it really needs a full order or a notice of intent because we already have a file for this and we can amend the approval. So actually, we don't even need to amend the approval. We can make this as an as-built change. Vito could reflect the changes here and the adjustments that were done, the cleaning being done as part of the certificate of compliance when we issue that or when you decide to issue that. We would probably want to have a couple of signs right at the edge of this burn mark or the edge of the altered area and a couple of signs, 2, maybe 3 signs saying wetlands do not disturb so we don't have future encroachments, especially between now and the time we get the application for a request for a COC. So,
Benny, would they be encroaching any more than what we're seeing here?
no, they should not be. They should not even be doing this encroachment. So
Right.
I think they're going to have access to come along here and go around to the back. They're going to put up a silt fence to protect it. Unless, I mean, it may be that they don't even need the silt fence if if they're just going to drive a track machine, a track rig up to drill the well. They may just need some control up around the well area so the slurry mix, the water that comes out of the well hole doesn't flow across the yard and down into the wetlands. So it's
Pretty
kind
flat,
of,
right?
no,
No,
it's probably 8 or so feet higher where they're proposing to put the well. But I mean, I think it's good to have Vito here. He knows the site. So
Yeah,
what are
it's a
your
little
thoughts?
higher. It does slope down towards the wetland.
It does.
Now that we're midsummer, that area should be dried out. But when they drive the track machine across, it shouldn't disturb too much. We were kind of worried when they first were talking about this in the spring. It's pretty muddy down in that end where the picture is. So the machines would really kind of make a little bit of a mess getting in and out. But now that it's late summer, it's probably dried enough where it's not gonna, really do much damage to the lawn. But that is really the only access to get into the backyard to put the well in. And they notified us that last week. I was away. but the well actually started going dry. So they're kind of stuck in a little situation right now.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
get the well in.
Right. And that's
Would-
why,
Would it make sense to put up maybe, some erosion control devices there in front of where, just in case water runs out of that drill
yeah,
hole?
yeah, no, I think that's fine. That's good, especially when if the track machine is going to be turning it around that corner. That's
Yeah.
where they create the biggest problem. So maybe we put in the silt fence as Vito proposed.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Comments, concerns?
Was that shed always there, Vinny?
It was on the original plan from a couple of years ago. There's a shed there. There's also a shed in the back here. So these are old timers. I think there's even a slab here. It's kind of, it's tough to tell, but
Yeah, they've been there for a while.
yeah, it's not our preferred condition, but if we can not make it any worse, any of the filling here or even at the end of the driveway, there's a spot that it looks like a nice spot to plow snow, and it keeps getting a little bit farther in from the driveway.
Is the septic failing?
So the septic was failing before and they replaced it. That was what the original order was for, was replacement of the septic. And at the time, the well was still functioning. They knew it was old and probably need replacement, but they didn't want to do it at the time.
Okay.
They thought it would cost.
So the septic was replaced.
Yep, septic's
Okay.
all, and that's in the front yard.
I'm just curious.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? I don't see any hands up from the audience. Okay, so Vinny, we're going to vote to approve the request for an admin project change for 75 Lawrence Street, yeah?
That is correct. Very good.
Okay, need a motion.
I make a motion to make the change for admin on 75 Lawrence Street.
Second.
Seconded by Kelly. Roll call. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. All set, Vito.
Right, thank you. All right.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Night.
Okay. 145 Church Street. Julie and Richard Cox. This is the deck access.
Yes, this was one we kind of looked at the last meeting, and I think we were okay with it. I was okay with it. The DEP had some questions, and they caught something that I missed, was the original layout. The original plan showed the original plan showed an incorrect floodplain location. So this is the site. There's a little bungalow house here with a driveway that goes out to Church Street. This is the pond along Church Street. This house here has a big green lawn there. The pond is Church Street, and this was the culvert that you just permitted to be replaced right on Church. So this is a perennial stream. There's a 200-foot zone and then a 200-foot zone farther away. So the whole lot is in the riverfront area. Their only developed area is this high section where the shed, the house, and the fence for the dog enclosure is. What they're proposing here is a 10 by 12 addition in the back of the property. And to get access into there, it's across the deck. They're putting another section of deck in to access into the addition. The issue that came up was the floodplain was shown that it was not mapped in the first application, but it was found that it follows the 293 contour, which runs right through here. And so that's the floodplain is right along here. So they're doing 20 cubic feet of filling of the floodplain for this area here. And what they're proposing is this little gray area, the hatched area, is where they're going to compensate. That's going to be the 20 cubic feet compensation for the floodplain filling that's going to occur here. The building and deck are all going to be on piles, so it's not as though it's going to be filled all the way down below them. And 20 cubic feet, I think, is more than enough because they're probably only going to fill 5 cubic feet, but they're proposing 20 for replication, which is great. It's more than we need. They're proposing silt fence to go around during the construction, and the plans were revised to address the DEP's questions.
Okay,
I think that was it.
good. Questions, comments? We did see this last month too, but
Yes.
refresh your memories.
Yep.
Yes, we were waiting for a DEP file number and DEP comments.
Yep.
What does that replication area look like now?
It is a grass lawn, right? Because this is their dog fence that goes around. It's a 6-foot high black wrought iron fence. So it's not just a cheap little picket fence or anything like that. And they're just excavating the area at the same elevation as where the fill is going over here. They're excavating this area to compensate for the flood storage. And so it's going to be grass when they're done. It's grass now. They're going to drop it, I think, like 8 inches, and it'll be grass in the future.
I'm not sure I understand. That doesn't make any sense. They're just making grass lower than it is now.
Yes, because it's a floodplain level. The flooding comes up to this red line. And because they're filling a little of it over here, just the top of what's on the top of the piles, the posts that come up and the concrete sonotubes, they have to excavate that volume that's filled somewhere else. And they're proposing to put it over here. So they're scraping off a little bit of the surface of the ground to the volume that this area over here fills. That flooding water goes over here is the idea. It's not usually on this minor a condition. Usually it's they cut out where they're going to fill 5 feet of flood area here. They're going to dig out 5 feet over here. But this one is just, it's so little a fill that they only have to scrape off a few inches in the other area.
Right, Dan, I'm with you, Dan. It's the smallest replication area I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't.
20 cubic feet.
It almost doesn't seem worth the effort, but all right. I mean,
Looks more like a tripping hazard. Like someone's gonna run and fall in the hole.
Yeah. Well, DEP was looking for that. That's what was proposed by by Goddard, the consulting, who is the representative for the owner. And I accepted it. If the commission decides that they don't want to have the alteration over in that area and want to just let the fill be filled, then it is definitely less than 10 cubic foot of storage or in the floodplain. So it's the commission's decision is what it is.
It's inside the fence.
Yes. And I have a photo if you want to really look at
Actually,
it.
Kelly, could be a tripping hazard.
I feel like one of my kids would run through that, tripping it and just eat it.
Right into the
Or my
fence. Boom.
dogs would do the same thing.
what's outside the fence?
Wetland, unmowed, just the wetland is like 4 feet outside of the fence line over here. And then the wetlands come back there, but this is all floodplain, but this is all just a wooded, brushy area.
Vinny, what type of a motion would I have to make to alleviate the replication?
We would, after we close the hearing, we'd have to move to allow the filling associated with the 4 piles going in on this project to not have to do the wetland or the compensation for not have to compensate for the floodplain storage. But I'm not sure, thinking about it now, I think under the building permit requirement, anytime they fill, they're going to need to compensate. So I think we just possibly leave it as it is, or suggest that they move it excavate a little more underneath the structure instead of putting it over off to the west
I like
Just
that approach.
the area where they're going to be filling, just excavate
Yeah.
right next
You're
to it.
already digging up part of it under the structure. They're already digging. Well,
Right.
they use piles, but they look at piles, but
Right, right.
Like, can they dig further down underneath that deck and just put like crushed stone? So it,
Oh, there's all sorts of different options, but
Yeah.
it's so small. Basically, what they could do, this whole area under the proposed addition is going to be open because they're going to put it on piles. So they could just excavate the area down here by 6 or 8 inches and make sure as long as it flows out this way, they're going to meet the requirement. So maybe we allow give them the option to relocate that compensatory floodplain under the deck and addition.
I like that approach. We give them a couple of options on it and let them decide.
Right.
Agree.
Yeah, that lawn thing is bizarre. I don't get that at all. No.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan, now we've seen the smallest ever, and now we can go from there.
It's like a dip in the middle of your lawn. It doesn't even.
Yeah.
Okay.
someone's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Very
Well,
good.
it would be graded down and just it would because it always would have to grade away. It wouldn't be a puddle.
All right, well,
I was just gonna say the dogs will have a field day in there on a rainy day.
Right?
Yeah. Actually, the dog is probably as big as that 20 cubic yards. He's a big dog.
What's the dog's name? Ghost or
Bear, I think it is.
Bear? I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge dog, huge.
120 pounder at least.
Yeah. Oh,
Something my dog.
it was friendlier than the two pit bulls who've been on Lawrence Street.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, those little pit bulls
That
were
was interesting.
barkers. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and close the hearing for an NOI for 145 Church Street.
No public comments.
No public comments. No hands
Excellent.
up.
All right.
Nope.
so moved.
Second,
Roll call. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
yes.
I vote yes. The hearing is now closed. Now we look to have a motion issue or a order of conditions for 145 Church Street with conditions, Vinnie.
Our standard conditions and also allow them to consider relocating the compensatory floodplain to an area under or closer to the addition and deck.
Okay. Fine.
So
Is there a
moved.
motion?
So
Okay,
moved.
Second.
Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Billy Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, onward we go. Very good. You'll be pleased. It's good.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, another continuation. This is 10 Easy Street. This is the tree cutting in the wetlands.
Yep. Brian Waterman will be here,
Brian
I think.
Waterman is here.
And Darren Lefebvre, I think. He might
No.
be here. Okay.
Brian, I'm going to bring you in as a panelist. Were we waiting for a DP number in this one too, Vinny?
Nope, we have a number.
No, the reason we
Oh, we were, yes.
Yeah. Brian's joining us.
Hello all, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, Brian?
Not too bad. Yep, so our initial meeting in July, we didn't have a DEP file number, so we had kind of a more informal discussion, and since that time, we did receive DEP. They had 2 comments about bordering land subject to flooding and the trees that were cut in the riverfront. We addressed that. We also had Vincent's initial review letter with comments, and we addressed those, and we've in the last week went back and forth with Vin, and I think we've addressed all the notes we wanted to add to the plan. We identified in the initial plan, there were an additional 3 or 4 trees he wanted to cut. We've taken those off the plan. They're no longer proposed to be cut. We talked to the owner and he agreed to go with We'd suggested either do the boulders or the split rail fence with the signage, so he decided on the split rail fence. So we added that. We came off the corner of the shed and ran the fence generally 20 to 25 feet off the wetland.
Brian, do we have a plan for this? Can we see it? Is something we can see?
Yeah, Vin, do you have it up?
I don't have it ready. I was counting on you. Do you have it close? I can dig it out.
I don't have it close.
All right.
I'm in a meeting.
I'll pull it up.
I can see if I can drag.
I can get it. Oh.
Sorry, Brian. I'm a visual learner though, so it helps to see things.
No, I know it. If I'm at my house laptop right now, or I'd be able to pull it up quick. And Vinny's always so efficient at doing this. So
Yeah. There it goes. You jinxed me. All right. I got it ready. All right. You want the left image or the right image?
you could go to the right image. It's the larger scale, so we can kind of go through that.
Oh, it's my. There it is. There you go.
That's good.
Okay, so you can see the shed there. The lawn goes down essentially to the wetland line, but what we've done is we paralleled off the shed, so they still have access to the shed. And we maintained at least 20 feet off the wetlands. And where it ties up to the right, it hits the 25-foot no touch. The large white pine that was off to the right, 2 to the north, and a red maple. They've removed that request to cut those trees. There's just south of your, you can see a little tree there that's right to your left there, Vinny. There's a 32-inch white pine there. That was previously proposed to be cut. We removed that request. And we've increased the plantings behind the fence. So that yard area that's been maintained as yard since the 60s will be allowed to revegetate, and we're also doing the supplemental plantings. So we've increased the amount of trees up to 14 and the number of shrubs up to 24. And then we've added, Vincent asked, do 4 signs. So we've got the one to the north there, and then two on the fence, and then there's one in the open area down by the well. It's off that picture, Vin, but that one you can see down there by the well. We figured if anyone's ever working back by the well again, there'll be a sign there. So it's kind of a overgrown grass field as it is now, but so we've removed the request to cut any more trees. We've increased the amount of plantings and set the fence. Vincent had also asked some of the trees that were spray painted for cutting, try to get the paint off those trees. So we put a note on there that they will attempt with a citrus-based cleaner. That's one of the more accepted methods for trying to, this is not a lot of paint, but trees that are painted with graffiti or things, they do try this citrus-based cleaner. It's environmentally safe. You spray it, you can hose it off. A lot of times that'll take off the paint. If not, you may have to do a second treatment and do a little hand scrubbing with a plastic brush. So the thought process was to clean the old leaf debris and remaining white pine branches from the edge of the wetland by hand, get that out of the yard and remove it, and then put the erosion control barrier in. And then they can do the fence or go ahead and do their plantings by hand. and then work their way back out. The pine logs will be taken out before the fence and the other plantings are going, and that's that squirrely line with the note there. That's where all the large pine logs are stored right now.
Yep.
They're in the yard, but they need to be removed by the tree company.
Some good sized logs there too.
Oh yeah, some of them are 24 to 36-inch diameter. So they're a healthy size. You're gonna have to cut them and use the machine and load them onto. The good thing is the driveway is flat. You can pull right up to them. They can get them out of there. So
Brian, is the fence at about the 25?
the upper corner is at the 25. We try to, I think in our initial discussion, Vinny had suggested at least 20. So we're right at we held the shed right there is like 24 feet. So we held the corner so they can get the front of the shed. And then we ran the fence along. So they maintain some lawn, but they're getting rid of 20 to 25 feet of lawn and converting that to allow it to revegetate and then the supplemental plantings.
And where is the elm tree that we're talked about growing?
Can you pan so we can see the bottom of the page a little bit? Right, let's see. Oh, my eyeballs are not what they used to be. Oh, right there, I see it. Right above where it says remove white pine branches, you see wetland flag 9, right below wetland flag 9. Keep going south.
Here's my.
Keep going south. Right there is 9, and then right below it, see the label, it says 9-inch.
Oh yeah.
Almost Americana. That's the one that they cut 5 feet up, and now there's new shoots growing out of the side of the tree. So we want to just leave that alone and let it regenerate. So that's why we're running the erosion control barrier in front of it so that they know to leave it alone.
Good.
Yeah, I'm okay with this one. If you guys have any questions.
I don't see any people looking. I don't see any.
Yeah, we've got the notes down there. We updated the plant list.
What's going in for trees, Brian?
We've got, sorry. 5 red maple, 7 black birch, and 2 American elm. So stuff that's native to that location. Shrubbery, we've got witch hazel, maple leaf viburnum, nannyberry, and high bush blueberry.
Okay. Good.
And we've got the detail on there for the signage on the fence posts. And again, we worked with Vincent to come up with the notes there.
Yep.
So
good.
I
presume they want to get this done while it's dry.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, at least get the logs and the other debris cleaned out. We've put a note on there that any plantings that are going to have to be watered and maintained at least till seasonal dormancy or, beginning in the spring again. So they've got to maintain them to keep them alive. So
okay, good. Any questions from the commission?
It's good.
Okay. Then we need a motion. Vinny, you're all set, I take it, right?
I am, yes.
So we need a motion to close the hearing on 10 Easy Street.
Motion moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. Hearing is closed. We need approval to issue an order of conditions for 10 Easy Street with nothing special, Vinny, right? Some signs.
Right, the signs are already on the plan, so I think it's just our standard conditions.
T's and C's.
Make a motion for an order of conditions
Second.
for 10 Easy Street.
Well, now we have it. Now Dan made the motion. Kelly seconded it, and John likes it. So we're going to vote Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. All right.
got it covered.
We got it covered. Unanimous support.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you,
All right.
Brian.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Moving along. 432 Whitney Street. This is
Uh,
the trails.
Brian Belfour and Marielle Stone, if they're there.
I see an M Stone.
That's one.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm going to bring you in as a participant. And we have no DEP number yet, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So we're continuing this anyway. Fine. Here she is. I see a person who's muted. Very good. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome.
I'm Marielle Stone. I'm with the Trails Committee. Brian couldn't join us today.
Okay. All right. So we're looking for an NOI application at 432 Whitney Street, right? We've walked it several times. It was going to be an RDA.
Right. But we decided that to go with a notice of intent, since we'll be crossing some of the banks on 3 intermittent streams. So we figured, notice of intent would work as well.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you want me to bring up a
Yeah,
plan
please.
of
A
it?
plan, that'd be good.
Okay.
Da-da-da.
Thanks,
So I have
Vinny.
I have this one, Marielle, as well as the ortho, if you wanted to jump to that as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I see something.
So
Which
yeah, I
was-
think the commission has had a chance to walk it, and we're grateful for the time that you guys have put into it so far, and going out there and taking a look at it. And I know there was some votes, I think, on the last meeting or one of the last meetings about supporting the trail. So now again, we just want to get the necessary approvals for those crossings, and we do have 3 crossings that of intermittent streams that are being proposed. One of them is to sort of create a smaller loop. And then the other one is to create a spur out to the adjacent DCR property, which is crossings 2 and 3. I have reached out to DCR to talk about creating a trail on the adjacent parcel. They weren't opposed to the idea, but they were very busy at this point of time this summer. They have all the parks that they're trying to manage for the season. So they were very busy, and Kevin Holbrook basically asked to connect with some ideas for a trail after Labor Day. So we plan on reconnecting with him. Our plan would be to just site a trail within, mostly the upland areas, may cross over into some of the buffer zone. But, there wouldn't be any additional wetland crossings that we have anticipated for any additional loops that we would put onto the DCR property. It is a really kind of a neat piece of property that it does kind of continue on, you can go almost all the way down to Solomon Pond, road there across from the mall entrance in Berlin. But right now, again, we're just looking for the crossings for the trail, with the hope that we will have a future expansion on the DCR property.
Yeah, we walked it. I think the jewel of this is the pond and the beaver lodge.
It's really a beautiful. I've lived in Northborough my entire life, and this was really a first opportunity for me just this earlier this year to walk this property, and I was really impressed with how beautiful. For all of the horror stories associated with the former owner and the adjacent parcel, it really is a beautiful piece of property, and the beaver pond is really impressive. And some beautiful wildlife opportunities. And we did try to lay out the trail in a manner that really minimizes any wetland crossings. Yes, we had to get close to the buffer zone. We were very sensitive to the slopes. We do appreciate the comments that the Conservation Commission had provided us in some of the previous meetings. And so we definitely took those into consideration. The parcel is only about 27 acres in size. It's not a huge parcel, and it's not a huge, really long trail, but it is very nice. And we were trying to make it kind of as long as we could without causing any additional impacts to any of the resource areas. We have some of the members of the Trails Committee did a lot of work trying to clean out the pallets that are on the front part of the initial access onto the property. Yeah, that's kind of like the only way you can really get in. That's really on top of that giant compost pile, if you will, that's kind of still there. And so that's pretty much all in the buffer zone, but we would just stay on top of that berm. And then, yeah, they try to keep as much of it in the upland area, and some of it's in the buffer zone. We do have that one spot near the beaver pond that we there's just a nice view spot there that we thought would be great. And it's I'm pretty sure it's more than 35 feet from the wetland edge.
So here's where I am, Marion. I don't know if you were involved in any of the discussions we had earlier here, but we kicked this around for a couple of meetings, and there was some positions about why have any trails there, why not leave it open, partial trails. It was not a slam dunk. I'm okay with the trail. I'm not thrilled about any wetland crossings. I mean, it's a big enough piece of property that I don't think that's relevant. That's important. I think it can happen without it. And that's what we do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that and that feedback. And, we felt again that it would just really enhance the trail to have some of these minor crossings. I'm not really sure if that's a basis of just the Conservation Commission wanting to not have the extensive trail on the property, which is certainly the right of the owner as the Conservation Commission being the owner. I mean, I'm not sure how what we're proposing to do doesn't meet the wetland regulations to not be allowed, but, we're certainly open to the dialogue with the commission on that.
Well, I mean, we get in, I mean, our responsibility is to protect the wetlands, right?
No, I completely appreciate what the responsibilities are of the commission.
And if we run into situations where you have to cross the wetlands or there's no way out, that's one item. With this one, in my view, you don't have to. You could just cut that off and have a stress trail and still enjoy the pond and all that. But that's just my one vote. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Who's that? Dan?
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg, but maybe for a slightly different reason. I agree with you for your reason, but I would add a reason that I don't see at this point creating a trail that doesn't lead anywhere. So I know you've talked to DCR, but at this point you don't have permission to continue that trail on DCR property. So I guess I'd be more inclined to support that spur if it led somewhere, as opposed to just dead ending at the end of the property line.
Right.
So, so I don't, the loop is fine. I have no issue with the loop, but I would prefer to see the spur road deferred up until a connection is established with DCR, and then I'd be happy to reconsider adding that at that point, I guess.
Well, I guess we're hoping to work on this trail, and have it completed. There is definitely a demand for trails in the town of Northborough. They all get used quite a bit, and we were just again really trying to expand the network and create that opportunity for the residents in town. And I understand that there may not be an immediate need, and it's something that we're probably not going to build the trail, the bridges right away until we actually, have something formal, but we're seeking really just the approval with an order of conditions. I mean, I'm not really clear how the project would fail to meet the performance standards to not be permittable under the wetland regulations. I guess I'd really like to understand how it doesn't meet the regs.
Well, we're the stewards of the property.
So, right. So that's, I guess, the question I have is
still-
is this a decision of the Conservation Commission or is this a Wetlands Protection Act decision?
Well, there's a Northborough wetlands bylaw. The
Okay.
Northborough wetlands bylaw has a no disturb 25-foot area. And you don't comply with that one. They can waive that if there's a need determined by the commission. They could allow the construction of the crossings as well, because there's a 35-foot no structures from the wetlands. So I think it's the commission's decision as to how to proceed, but the additional regulatory concerns are local Northborough regulations.
Okay, well, if that's the
not the-
basis for it,
not
then
the-
I understand. Again, we
yes.
really feel like the impacts are very, very minimal to the wetland we plan on spanning. We think it actually is a really nice loop that, again, kind of highlights some additional features of the property, even on the other side, and even creating sort of the dead end to DCR property. It still gives people the opportunity to access that parcel, which again, it's a really, beautiful piece of property. And without it having any kind of trail, it kind of, cuts out a fair amount of section that the public would utilize. And we're really just trying to create the best opportunity for people that are out trying to explore and appreciate the town's land. And again, I really think that the wetland impacts, we have basically 12 feet of bank at the most that would be temporary altered associated with this span. And minimal cutting, very similar to our trails that we've, constructed in other places in the community. But, that's certainly the Conservation Commission's decision, but, we would respectfully request to, seek permission to move forward with the trail as we've designed and proposed.
Other commissioners, any comments, questions?
I think I'd have to agree with Dan and Greg on this one. In previous meetings, I've said how like I have a million kids and they love bridges. So like, over in Cold Harbor, we have a great time over there, but it's a loop. I can't see justifying going against one of our regulations if it's a trail to nowhere. I was just looking on Mass Mapper and I'm amazed that Beaver Lodge has been there since like 2005.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. That's a 20-year-old Beaver Lodge. So I would love to take the kids down there and do the loop trail and actually see that lodge with the kids. But until there's something on the DCR land to go to, I don't see how it justifies going against our regulations when there's nothing to get to. If there was another trail there, there'd be more of a need. But I have to agree with Greg and Dan on this one.
So I guess I would disagree that it's completely a trail to nowhere, but I understand what you guys are saying. And, is there a possibility that we condition it that the additional the crossings don't occur unless there is an approval from DCR to construct a trail? I mean, can there be an approval with that conditional?
Or we could just not approve it with that, and when that happens, if that happens, come back and we'll put a separate one in, separate NOI.
Well, we're kind of in the process now. It's just
Well, so are we.
Yeah.
So are we in the process. We are not, this is, your time zone is not ours. Your timeline is not ours. So.
Well, I think right now we're going to wait for DEPs to issue a file number. So we have a month to try to figure things out. That brings us to the Labor Day. So Hollenbeck could be able to get back to you and you can get a better idea whether you can get a letter or an email from him saying he supports the idea or something
Maybe
like
we
that
can
to
continue
show.
it until we get something. Yep.
Right. So we could
We're
just,
going to
so we don't
continue
lose
because
any
of
time.
DEP, right? But I mean, even if you get approval, well, it's an NOI, so it's really black and white. It's either approved as is or not. My thought was you could start working with a trail with this area being off to the side and not touched for now.
Okay.
And that's an option. But again, we're not voting tonight. We're going to continue. We need DEP's number and their input.
Okay.
But just want to give you a flavor of where we are.
No, and I appreciate that. And I think we had heard that already from the commission. So we were aware of that concern. And again, we did, reach out to DCR and they, again, were not negative in their comments on that. They were just like, this really didn't have time. And we're kind of saying that, we would have to go through the permitting process for that. Again, a notice of intent, again, we think we meet the performance standards for bank and for the crossings. But, I mean, again, if this is a decision that's more of the Conservation Commission as under their bylaw or just as the land stewards and not really a Wetlands Protection Act decision, then that's what I'm just trying to understand too.
Okay. John Johnson, you want to put your 2 cents in here?
I was seriously thinking about maybe allowing the spur to happen and maybe allow another secondary loop to happen up until number 2 and alleviating number 3. So number 3 would alleviate that entry into the DCR property. It removes some of the trailing from the wetland, but allows a secondary loop to happen off the spur. Is kind of what I was thinking.
So really crossing number 1 is what we would be, most interested in, to sort of like create sort of that, more expansive loop of the property, and 2 and 3 are the ones that would really be contingent upon, the access to DCR. This is, we
Right.
just feel like it adds like another sort of dimension and appreciation of the parcel, by allowing the crossing number 1. And again, would just really, allows us to really access that additional parcel, that part of the parcel. And again, this is the town. This is something that we're doing for the town. This is not something, the Trails Committee is just really trying to create an opportunity for the citizens and that really enjoy the town's, the property, and really trying to get the most benefit off of this parcel.
No, we get it. We get it. And I personally, I think you guys do a great job. I think over time, I think the Concom has been very supportive of the Trails Committee.
Yeah, no, and we recognize that and we appreciate that. And we really think that this is like really such minimal impact, and really just creates more of an opportunity for the citizens to really value and appreciate this property that was so controversial for so much time. And, we finally acquired it. And, again, what we're going to build here or construct as a trail, it's very similar to some of our beautiful trails that we have now, and that people really enjoy. And it's again just to try to create more of a loop, and so it doesn't seem like it's just so short. But that's what we were going for.
Okay.
And we originally had like kind of a loop that crossed several times, and we decided, we were trying to create a whole loop just on that maximized the parcel. But we recognized the Conservation Commission had concerns about multiple crossings, but with the 3 sort of intermittent channels that are there, we found a way to try to really even minimize that more with the design that we are proposing here.
Okay. All right. So we are going to continue this until September 8th, Vinny?
September 8th, our next meeting. Yep.
September 8th. Need a motion to continue.
So moved.
Second by John. Roll call. Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly Morriston.
Yes.
I vote yes. We are continued until September.
And just to be clear, the continuation is just to get the DEP file number, or is there additional information you need from the Trails Committee? I could try to reach out to Kevin between, that time period, since it'll be after Labor Day. I'm just trying to get a sense of what else I could bring, to the meeting, next time.
We have pictures of the crossings. We've seen that. We have a design, I think, what you want to do. There's some history with those.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have all the information we need. It's just a matter of where certain commissioners have positions on.
Well, but if people are questioning, they want to see a connection to DCR, I think getting something from DCR would be helpful.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can come up with, before the next meeting. So
Okay,
thank
cool.
you. Thank you all for your time tonight.
Vinny's your guidance. He's your guiding light. So there we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mariel.
All right. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Need to vote.
Okay. So we're continuing 432 Whitney. 195 Southwest Cutoff. Installation of a temporary sewer bypass.
Okay, this was one that we had talked about a month ago or so, that they were going to be coming back in, and actually I have to pull up. Where's that one? They were proposing to do a repair of the dam down on Hop Brook Reservoir, down off of Southwest Cutoff. And I've got a couple of photos that I'm trying to pull up here.
So this is on the corner of Tomlin Hill Road and Southwest Cutoff.
Yes, yes. And so, come on. All right. So this is, the DCR is doing work to repair the dam, and currently there's a sewer line from Shrewsbury that goes under the dam or through the dam and then connects into Tomlin Hill Road. So what they are proposing to do, there's the dam is located in this area here. Route 20 runs right across here, north-south. This is it Kimball?
It looks like
Sandpit?
Kimball's.
Yeah, Kimball's. And that's the back end of the Shops Way.
Yep.
In that area. This is the driveway going up to Shops Way. Right here is Tomlin Hill. What's proposed, this is the dam. Going through the dam is the current pipe. To replace that and move it to this end, they need to have a temporary bypass, which is this red line coming through here and across there. I'm going to zoom in now. To the specific area. The DCR is proposing to cross under Route 20 without digging through it. There's a culvert for Hop Brook that flows right under Route 20. So what they're proposing to do is generally suspend the pipe within that existing culvert, come out the other side, and then go up to the connection where they would discharge to the existing manhole in Tomlin Hill Road. To do that, they need to file a notice of intent with the commission. To file a notice of intent with the commission, they need permission from the property owners, which the Conservation Commission owns this portion of land right in here. So what I asked for submittal of some additional information, if they were proposing to just put a pipe across the brook, it would be a waste of time for us to file a notice of intent. So I tried to get more clarification from them, and they've suggested that they have not completed any final plans, but their intention is to have minimal impacts to the wetland resources. So what I think they're probably going to propose is to suspend the pipe in the culvert, at the top of the culvert, and then turn and run along the edge where it's filled over here and up to Tomlin Hill Road. I have kind of encouraged them not to do a formal crossing like it appears is shown here, but we don't have anything for certain. But I just wanted to present this to the commission because they need to get your permission to file the notice of intent. So that's really where we are.
It's a pressurized pipe, right?
Yes.
Because once you cross over Route 20, from that point there until up to Tomlin Hill Road, that's a pretty steep upslope.
I was just going to say that I viewed the area also.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see some type of plan on where the elevation would be when it comes across Route 20 and it gets to Tomlin Hill, because it would be extremely difficult to bury that pipe around that area. It would have to be somehow suspended as it crosses that brook. The slope there is very steep on both sides. And it's and there's not too much wetland there. I went down there and it's heavily wooded. It's aged woods. So to make some type of pathway there for that piping, I think there'd have to be some tree removal.
Yeah, well, I think what they're proposing to do is try to stay as far out as possible, which they, like I said, they don't have their final plan, so they can't commit. But I think that if you vote to allow them to file a notice of intent and they watch this video, they will see that there's significant concerns with any wetland alteration. Excuse me. I think they're proposing, or I know they're proposing to put this as a surface pressure line. So they're not going to excavate and dig things out. It's going to be a surface line that comes across the ground, goes through the culvert that's under Route 20, and then comes out the other side. And the question really comes in is, do they just put this pipe under the surface of the brook and up the hill, or whether they kind of keep it close and go over to the Tomlin Hill Road area and make the connection there. But I think they need to move forward and get approval for a notice of intent from the commission, or a notice of approval to work on the commission's property to file a notice of intent.
It sounds to me like they are not against the proposal that you have, which is to stay away from that wetland area as much as possible. Go up the road, follow the road.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I can't promise that's what they're going to propose.
Right. Right.
But you can always deny it.
How long would they need this bypass?
Oh, I forget. They did say, I think it was 6 months. I'm not exactly sure, but that would be part of the notice of intent.
And then they take it down.
It's not a couple of days. It's a season.
But what we're voting on tonight is just to give them the opportunity to apply?
Yeah, to file a notice of intent, they have to have authorization from the property owners. And you folks are the property owners of that property on the east side of Route 20 and south of Tomlin Hill.
What happens if we say no? What is their alternative?
Well, that was the question. Their alternative then is an expensive alternative to probably stay within the right of way of Route 20 and have to cut the pavement, because you can't have a speed bump in the middle of the road. So they'd have to cut and bury the pipe through Route 20 and probably access up here straight across. And they probably would do more wetland impact on this side as well.
Okay.
So I think in the long term, we should let them do their best. So far, it's the same team that filed for the remediation work uphill here. And I think they're a good team. I think they're going to do what's right. It's just that they don't have the details to provide us all that information yet.
Well, let's have them apply. My position. Let's have them apply, and you can strongly suggest what the commission seems to like.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll watch. They might even be watching the video of this now. So I think they're aware of it.
This video is watched by hundreds of people, then hundreds, not thousands. Yeah. Yes.
This is prime time.
Prime time.
Yes. So I agree with you, Greg. I think that's where we want to go. I've let them know there's concerns, and I think they'll respond appropriately.
Okay. So we take a vote.
Yes.
Should we request? We're requesting access. We're supporting requests for access for 195 Southwest Cutoff. Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly Morriston.
Yes.
And I vote yes. So will we see them next month, you think?
No, I don't think they'll be that fast turnaround.
Okay.
If possible, I'd like to see both proposals, if they don't mind drawing two.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is going to be the low cost one, which I think is the one that we would like.
Okay.
Putting it under the pipe, through the culvert, and then up along the shoulders. I mean, we don't want to, because alternatives costs thousands of dollars, so we don't want to charge them extra money. Let's get them to design the right thing the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Moving along, policy update. This is the discussion we had about taking a new approach to not allowing any supplemental information to come in for consideration after we had closed the business, usually 8 o'clock on Wednesday night prior to the meeting. Basically takes pressure off of Vinny to read through 500 pages of stuff in a day and a half or something. So,
correct.
And as we talked last month, I mean, we did some research on other towns, and this seems to be a standard procedure other towns have. Cutoffs well in advance.
Yes, and it's what the planning board in town has it, I think, almost a week, and I think I can handle it for the Wednesday before the Monday meetings.
Okay.
So we just need any discussions. If the public wants to chime in and doesn't like it, that would be okay, but I need a vote from the commission.
No public here.
Yeah.
Room's empty.
Room is in.
We move to vote?
Yes, we're going to vote on this, on the policy. Do we all agree that the proposed Wednesday at 4 p.m. cutoff is good?
Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Is
I
it
think
at
that's
8
what I
o'clock?
said. Oh, it says,
It says 4 o'clock on the agenda.
oh, okay. Oh, all right. I'm good. All right. 4 o'clock works for me.
End of the business day for you, right? On Wednesday.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Anybody have any comments? I mean, is that okay? You want changes, different times? You hate the idea or?
Good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we make a motion to vote.
okay. We're looking to vote to accept policy update for supplemental information submission deadline as outlined by Vinnie on the meeting agenda.
Yep.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Well, I know Kelly, you're really racking up the points here. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. So Vinnie, where is this going to be? Is this going to be it should probably be boilerplate on the documentation we send out to applicants or engineers.
I'm hoping I plan on putting it on the website
Yep.
as a policy. And then also when I write comment letters, at the bottom of the comment letter, it'll say things have to be submitted by end of the day, Wednesday, prior to the Monday meeting.
Okay. No, we should really probably stick with that too, so that we don't start making exceptions and becomes a useless policy.
That sounds good.
But we'll just move along from there. Okay. Requests for COCs. We got one for 383 Whitney Street.
All right. 383 Whitney. I think I have that one up and ready. I forget. Wetlands. No, I don't. $195. Sorry. 383 Whitney was a septic repair that was done, I think in 2018, and the work was completed. But when they were finishing the work, they cleared a few trees on the embankment that goes down to a pond. Come on, where are you? 383. And so as part of this request for a certificate of compliance, sorry, I picked up the wrong, yeah, that was the wrong one.
Is this the one with the retaining wall? Did it have a wall in it?
No, this one isn't. This is one where
They put up a fence.
they went in and altered the area next to the pond. Here it is. Okay, you don't see that though yet. All right, coming up. All right, so Whitney Street is at the bottom of the page. Come on. I will zoom in once the screen allows me to get to the zoom section. Come on. Oh, it's still loading, that's why, sorry. So there's Whitney Street is at the south end of this property. House is there, driveway. This is the proposed, and this is the actual installation of the septic system, the replacement septic system, septic tanks over there. And there's a pond in the back area here. well, actually a little bit farther. So the pond is back here. This is the edge of the wetlands. And there is an area over here that they cleared and put some of the fill from, I think the fill from the septic system into this area here, which they weren't allowed or permitted to do. And so, is this not letting me zoom in?
John, is this near you? What number are
Yeah,
you?
I went down and visited the property yesterday. I have a screenshot of the property, Vinny, if I can share my screen.
Sure. Actually, let me just zoom in and the points of interest, which kind of come up once you can zoom in a little. There's the septic system was here. You can look across here. It slopes down, and this is a fence to keep the encroachments away from the 25-foot zone. So they've recently installed a fence and put a sign on there, and they were supposed to allow the trees to grow in, but they have not over the last few years. So I contacted the owner, and the owner was willing to plant 3 trees in this area, which he has done, and they're growing right now, I hope. And I will then stop sharing. So you want to share, John? It should be at the bottom.
That's what it looks like now.
It's
There's
coming
the
up.
fence that he was talking about. There's the sign. I didn't see any trees planted down here, Vinny.
Yeah, if you want to zoom in, you can just see them just through the opening in the fence. They're off to the left. So zoom in a little more. But they're 3 apple trees.
There's one you can see right there.
Okay, right here?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So this bench and seat were down closer to the water, which is in the background there. And so what they are required to do is allow this area behind the fence to totally revegetate and naturalize. And then they're allowed only a 30-foot wide access. This was the order of conditions from 2018. They're only allowed to have a 30-inch wide access from the opening in the gate down to the pond. So it's going to be pretty clear whether they're in violation or not. So that's why it's proposed as a certificate of compliance that they've done the work that's been required. We're now just waiting for the vegetation to grow back in.
Okay.
I did notice yesterday that this property is up for sale.
I thought it just got purchased.
Oh, did it? Okay.
I thought so.
Michelle's sign is still out on the driveway.
Yeah, no. I thought it said sold, but I'm not sure.
I think it was vacant when we walked, right? I thought there was nobody
Yeah,
there.
there was no one home there, but I was there when they put the fence up, when the guy was there to put the fence up, and there was a young mom in there with a baby.
Did a nice job with the fence. That's a good picture with the fence and the sign.
Yeah.
Yep, they did a good job.
Oh.
We just got to keep him from mowing beyond the fence.
Okay, well, I mean this is in John's quadrant here, so he'll take a look at that and keep an eye on it for us, and we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, we need a motion to award or agree for a COC for 383 Whitney Street.
Yep, the ongoing conditions are that, which is what I said, the path is the only thing allowed beyond the fence, and they're gonna have to maintain the fence and the sign in perpetuity.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Dan Clark.
Yes.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay.
And the house was sold July 2nd, 2025.
Right.
Good, thank you.
We have no new violations, which is a good thing. We have 3 existing enforcement orders or restoration plans. Settlers Road, Belmont, and Barefoot, Vinny. I think we're in reasonable shape on all 3 or not? You're meeting with some of the people I know.
Yes, 15 Settlers Road. I just got contacted by the engineer who used to own it, who said
Matt Morrow?
No, that's the wetland scientist who I'm going to meet out there. I think it's Thursday of this week. We're going to meet at the 15 Settlers Road, review what's needed for him to file a restoration plan.
Okay.
But they need to get a perimeter. Actually, John, you were out there yesterday again. Is
Yeah.
there a barrier or prevention, some way that the runoff from the Bear area is now prevented from going into the lower area?
There's a bank of, I'll say about 18 inches of wood chips that surrounds that whole lot. Starts on the side and goes all the way down around the back towards the area and comes back up. So
Okay.
that's what they placed there.
Yes. So this one originally got a approval for a septic and a house to go in the area. And part of it was that they had to put in the barriers to the isolated wetland that was on the north side of the property. When I went out there, because I got called by, I got noticed from somebody that there was, it appeared to be turbid water going down, running off the site, and that was the case. It looks like they've extended their fill on the property to being over an acre of alteration. So they're going to need to file a land disturbance permit application. And then we also have to verify whether there are or are not wetlands on the downhill side. And that's when I'm going to meet with the wetlands consultant that's hired to do this on Thursday, I think.
Well, it sure looks like they filled some wetlands in. Yeah.
It sure does. I didn't do a pour or a auger of the soils, but it was wet.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was 15.
Yep. Then we have Route 9, Belmont Street, the old, what was the name of their restaurant?
Oh, Casa Vallarta.
Right. Even before that, what it was Tweeds?
Tweeds.
Tweeds. There we go. We're
Oh,
going back in
boy.
time now. Okay.
Yes, well, they have a failing septic system, and so they're trying to resolve that issue. But while they're sitting and waiting or working towards resolution of that, they're running into problems with people coming onto their property and dumping. And they need to put in a barrier so that that stops. But they have not done that yet. I just got contacted from the owners on Thursday or Friday of last week, and they wanted to talk to Laurie about resolving the septic issues. And she, as well as the building inspector, reiterated the concerns that I had with dumping and tire dumping and solid waste dumping in the back. So I'm hoping that he'll be responding to that shortly.
Well, the good news is you made contact with them as a starting point.
Exactly. That's
Oh,
right.
That's good stuff.
Yes.
186 Barefoot Road, restoring some issues.
Yes, some work, some dumping in the setback areas. That same wetland scientist, Matt Morrow, is going out there, and we're going to meet at this site as well. And we're going to review the line that he's delineated for the wetlands that was a little more conservative than what was out there in the past. And the owner has done some filling and some dumping of brush and lawn, yard wastes into the setback area, 25-foot no disturb. So we're going to work on verifying the wetland line and then making sure that there's no impacts to the 25-foot no disturb, and probably putting up a fence with signs to prevent things in the future.
Okay. Progress. It's good. All
Yes. Yes.
All right. Correspondence. What else is going on, Vin?
This isn't enough.
It's funny, yes.
I have a few other things going, but I think we're handling that. We're working on certificate of compliance for the ADA trail. There's actually an event that you're going to make an announcement for the trail tomorrow night, Greg.
What's that?
The ADA trail, the Arts Come Alive or something.
Oh yes,
at
I'm not
the
going.
senior
I'm
center.
not going to be there for that. No, I have a previous commitment.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's available, open to the public tomorrow evening, I think it is. I don't have the times, but it's posted on the town's website.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, they'll
llamas
have-
will be there too. Llamas. So the kids might want to see llamas.
Oh yeah, the goats, and I know there's goats, maybe llamas.
Yeah.
They'll have artists doing art and all sorts of cultural things. They're going to have I think Sirloin is going to have one of their vehicles there. Are you going to be there, Kelly?
I have no, maybe?
No,
My
no,
truck
no.
coordinator would
I
know.
heard there.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. They said there's an ice cream truck going to be out there, so
Wow.
Probably then.
that's what I figured, right?
Good.
So, yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be a fun event. It's open to the public. And then, so they're going for a certificate of compliance, probably be ready for the next meeting.
Good.
And what's the other one? Dog park. Hopefully, we're going to have a grand opening or at least a soft opening by the end of the month. They're closing up on the final drainage items and construction
Excellent.
items that need to be taken care of.
I think folks are already using it, what I'm seeing on Facebook.
I think so. Yes.
So, okay.
All right. Well, but we'll get an official opening that the planning department can announce.
Question I have, Vinny, trails, Edmund Hill status.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Have you been invited?
Yes, he said he's
Okay,
got it
good.
marked. He had it marked 3 months ago. It's
Okay.
that one's all on me. I just haven't gotten out. That's actually a fun thing that I want to do, go out and walk on the trails, but they don't seem to get time for that.
Okay, good, but at least it's ready for you, so it's a matter of good. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and maybe I'll check and see what the status is, and maybe get John, since he's getting out there a lot. John and Dan get out there for a walk and see what they think of the what's that? The adaptive bicycle trail layout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
let
know.
me
It's
know.
right behind the house. So just let me know.
Good.
Good.
We could also go Tuesday night or tomorrow night and see the llamas and do two with one stone there, kill, two birds with one stone. So,
That's true. I actually have a couple of inspections at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock tomorrow night. People are busy working, so that's the nights that I work late. Tuesday I work
night.
late, so that's when people who work all day want me around, so we can actually meet in person, which is helpful.
Good. Okay, anything else going on? Anybody have anything else going on in observations or? Okay, good. Everybody here in September 8th, right? Early Labor Day this year, the 1st.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, good.
And I
Oh,
presume-
and the
we're gonna
public
have,
announcement for Kelly that Sadie Stone, our newest member, has had a baby, and mother and son are healthy. So
Good.
she delivered July 31st. So
Excellent.
everyone's doing well.
Good. Good. So we might see her. We may see her in September. Who knows?
She's hoping to be. Yes.
Good. And we should have a full quorum, hopefully, too. So.
Yep. Justin and Todd. Yes.
I think it would be important for the discussion, especially around 432, to have everybody on that side. So.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Unless anybody has anything, we can have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call vote. Dan Clark,
Yes.
John Johnson,
Yes.
Kelly Marston.
Yes.
I vote yes. Very good. Thank you, folks.
Great.
Night.
Thank you. Thank you,
Enjoy the rest
Terry.
enjoy the rest of the summer before the kids go back to school.
Yay.
That's right.
Then vacation really starts.
Bye, guys.
Good night. Thank you, Vinny.
Yep. Good
Thank
night.
you, Terry Underwood.